And 3, 2, 1, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight I have George, Carl and Andy, and we are the Monday Blues, proudly brought to you by Globalnet Solutions Australia, Mercadante, Woodfire, Pizzeria, Elite Plastering Group, Kami Projects, Zak Nasser from YPA, RAZ Homes, the Bottle in Pascaval, and Damo Finance. And we are here with the Round 22 preview. The Blues take on the SUNS at Marvel Stadium at 7:35 on Sunday. Thought that was a fart for a second, Carl.
Sorry, boys.
Gents, how are we doing? George?
Not bad for a Thursday. Big day today. I think the preview almost takes a little bit of a back seat with news coming out of the club today. So, and Collingwood's down by a fair bit at half time. It's an interesting game. So yeah. Let's get it kicked off. How are you boys?
I is well. Been a busy week for me. Mrs. in hospital, had a little bit of a surgery, but she is well and on the road to recovery. So
great
shout out to my
good to hear.
Wife Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle.
Just a quick shout out to True Detailing. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm a big car head, big rev head. Got my car ceramic coated. If anyone's looking to get a car ceramic coated, polished, paint corrected, just a basic wash, hit up Josh at True Detailing in Thomastown. It's TRU. Great guy, great work. So yeah.
Is he on the socials?
He's on Instagram. If you got any questions or anything, you can message us on the page and show you a video or give you his number or whatnot. But yeah, he's got Instagram. I think he's got a website as well. So, yeah, suss him out. He's definitely pretty good at what he does.
Very good.
On your car.
Andy, how you going?
Yeah, I'm all right. Been a big, probably, 24, 48 hours. So, yeah,
Got the Rickfords there, have you?
I have. Creamy soda Rickfords. Fucking fantastic.
Do you put sparkling water in it as well?
I do. Soda water. I actually hate soda water, but you have to.
Yeah, same. I can't do that stuff, man.
Yeah. I bought soda water by accident once. Sparkling water instead of normal from Mount Franklin. I'm not gonna lie, legitimately ruined my day. I was at the servo. It was a hot day. I just needed water, man. I got the sparkling Mount Franklin instead of the normal one, and fucking
Doesn't
ruined my
quench.
day.
Doesn't quench.
I had one mouthful. I launched it. I was
Yeah,
cut.
it's pretty bad.
See, I'm the opposite. I love sparkling water. I think it's great.
Yeah, don't know how, man.
Someone said it's like drinking the static channel on the TV. You know?
That's a great way to describe it.
You know that back on the analog TVs, that chat.
Very good.
If that was a drink, it would be sparkling water.
Very good. Very good. Well, lots happened this week. Let's go back 48 hours. Melbourne randomly out of nowhere, maybe not. There was some speculation, some rumours that Simon Goodwin was going to get the sack at some point this year. I don't think anyone expected it to come with a couple of rounds left in the season. This happened on Tuesday. That sent the AFL media world a bit psycho, to be honest, and immediately the attention was turned after Simon Goodwin's press conference and media run that Michael Voss was now very much under the microscope, and there was a scheduled board meeting yesterday at the Carlton Football Club, of which they spent 5 hours in the boardroom discussing a variety of topics, of which Michael Voss was one of them, and his coaching tenure at Carlton Football Club. Graeme Wright presented his recommendations to the board, one of them being that Michael Voss remains the Carlton head coach for 2026, which was, and I quote, unanimously agreed upon by the board. And here we are. Michael Voss remains. Bit of head scratching, Carl.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you boys feel about it?
I'll let
Before I
Georgie.
tell you how I feel about it, big thank you to our sponsors, Globalnet Solutions Australia, Mercadante, Woodfire, Pizzeria. Stay tuned for the giveaway that we have weekly. Elite Plastering Group, Cami Projects, YPA Zak Nasser, RAZ Homes, Bottle Pascaval, and Damo Finance. All the contact details are in the video description. If you want to get in touch with them, check the video description and make sure you let them know where you saw them. Yeah, very well. I guess 24 hours ago, I think 95% of media supporters and probably the AFL world had Voss at like $1 to go at the end of the season. Whether or not whatever your thoughts were on Voss as a coach, I think that was just sort of the stance that everyone had potentially landed on, purely because is his position tenable, and you see it from time and time again. Players get their way, fans, most of the fan base gets their way, the board gets their way, the media gets their way, and this has gone in a different direction, which I think has shocked a lot of people, and it's had a huge mixed response. A lot of people think we're doomed for next year. A lot of people think, I just got to back him in, and I think that's it. You can't wish ill upon this bloke for next year. Like you have to trust. We've asked for Graeme Wright to come in and make decisions, and don't worry about the August 15 date. I think he's well and truly been entrenched in making some stuff and decisions behind the scenes. He's been there long enough to sort of see how things operate. Whatever you think of him, about Voss, he's here to stay. The club sent out that email. What I found interesting about that email is that every club email is from someone when it's official. It's Priestley, Cook, Graeme Wright. This wasn't from anyone. This had it's interesting. It had quotation marks as if it's a quote, but it wasn't addressed, but it wasn't signed off by anyone in terms of kind regards, so on and so forth. So I found that interesting. And there was jokes that Voss had hacked into the club comms computer and sent that to secure himself for next year. But based on the language, and people, you can read into, I guess, the language how you want, but the club's gone all in for him next year. So it's, they said to 2026 or whatnot. There's some of the language they use, but they can't shy away or back from that. They said they're going to make an informed decision at the end of the season. If it turns and they do a 180, I think they've shot themselves in the foot. I think that's it. They've gone all in. And it seems as though everything around him will change and probably buckle up for a very exciting player movement period, it seems like, off the back of this. So deals might have been hanging on, or contracts, like re-signings might have been hanging on this decision. But ultimately, whatever you think of the bloke, he's there for us next year. So we've just got to wish him well, and whoever the assistants are around him that we've been calling for a bit of change, and the head of football and whoever else gets moved along and brought into the club, we wait and see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit the opposite, man. Like, I hope I'm wrong. Like, we're talking about it before in the chat, and I'll be happy to eat my words, but I don't know, man. I reckon he should have gone. They will bring in some new assistants, but yeah, we had a good year, late half of the season in 2023, but I don't know, just the way he doesn't know how to adapt to a game mid game, doesn't know how to change things. It could be assistants as well, but I don't know, man. For me, I would have moved him on. That's just me. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong, but you can't fix a spud. He was shit at Brisbane. So I don't know. What do you think, Andy?
I think I'm in a little bit of denial. I think this is just, I don't see how he's kept his job, right? Like, just purely based on the numbers, I don't see how he's kept his job. A part of me is saying these blokes are just saying this just to shut us up, maybe shut him up. And, you know, if they really backed him, and I said this earlier, I jumped on emergency meeting for 5 minutes and I said this then. If they were really backing him, why don't they come out and say, he's our man for beyond 2026 as well. He's a 2-year extension. But instead, they decided to make a statement that probably didn't need to be said. Like it didn't need to be, like, he's contracted next year. You don't say anything. Why do you have to come out and say we're backing him? The only time you ever really hear a board come out and say he has full support of the board is when someone's about to get sacked. So I don't know. It's a weird one. Like, if this is legit though, and this was Graeme Wright's decision, then who am I to disagree with his track record? Who am I to say he doesn't know what he's talking about? So whatever happens, this falls on the board. This is their decision. So if we're 0-5, 0-6 next year, and halfway, through the year, say we're 4-8, this is on them. This is on the board. And I think for us as supporters and members, it's important to remember this. We're at an important crossroads right now because we've decided to stick with Michael Voss, and this falls on the board. So if they get this right, well done. You know what I mean? And me personally, I'll back Graeme Wright. But if they get it wrong, and remember, they said unanimously. The board decided unanimously. That's very important. So if this goes south, mate, there should not be a board member left. If this goes wrong, they all should put their hands up, and they all should be fucked off. But that'll probably never happen.
I've still got this slight feeling that I'm sure we would have asked the question to some of these bigger name coaches to come along, and they've probably said no. I get this feeling, and then they've looked at some other names and thought, yeah, nah, what's the point? Why get rid of Voss now and pay him out his contract? We'll just give him another go and hope that we might have someone that can step in. Maybe just get some new assistants around him and see how it goes. But it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you've got not a great list, but we've got a decent list. For where we are on the ladder, it's not acceptable. And for him to keep his job, I don't think it's acceptable either. So I think that names were asked and they probably said no. So they're all right, let's just keep him for now. And then we'll see what happens. But then again, if we get these next 3 games and we get absolutely pumped, then what? Do we have
that's a good point, because you've backed him in now prior to the end of the season, but you said an informed decision will be made at the end of the season. If we get absolutely slapped the next 3 rounds,
did they say that an informed decision will be made at the end?
That was back when Priestley was it June or July, when Priestley said we're being calm, patient, and at the end of the season we'll make an informed decision across the board at the end of the season. So that's where I think what they've done is they've held the Wolves at bay, being media and supporter bases and things like that, where they've said, let's put this out. We've got a lot of scrutiny. We've got the media hanging outside Icon Park because after Goodwin got sacked, everyone's turning their eye here. You put out that statement. If the next 3 weeks get very ugly, and players start maybe looking elsewhere and whatnot, media is going to come back. Media is going to come right back.
100%.
They have to.
They're gonna add the pressure back on, saying, is it still the same situation? Is it still untenable? Are you still backing him in?
That's why I said, like, if they were legit, that Michael Voss is the guy to take us forward, then come with some substance. Put a contract extension on the table. Show us that you're really trusting him. All you're doing now is fulfilling a contract.
Yeah, and like you said, history shows that when a statement like that is made, it usually doesn't follow with seeing it through. So, I think there was just a bit of panic because of if the Goodwin thing didn't happen this week, there wouldn't have been any of this noise, I guess. But again, usually when one coach goes, unless they're thinking of something in terms of a head of football, coaching director, or a replacement for a senior coach, that's when you've got to act. Interesting. I find interesting that it was unanimous. I reckon they've just put that out there to appease and just say, like, this is a joint decision. If you're going to say majority, then questions are going to be asked. Okay, who was it? Who said no? Who disagreed? I remind myself that the David Parkin was on the list of people that picked him last year, and Parkin's getting on in age, of course, as well. And Diesel's was on that panel as well. And Diesel's come out recently, of course, with that article saying I've got the brain of an 80-year-old at the moment. So some of the decision making at the club, like, no, I'm not being ageist or anything like that, but let's be real. Informed decisions. If Graeme Wright's come out there and said, okay, based on what I've seen all year, he's the guy, but you need to piss off everyone else. So be it. Okay, then who? And the other thing is, who else comes in terms of the assistants? Like, who'd want to, almost, right? Knowing how much scrutiny and shit you're going to be under, almost. So you got to have thick skin. But coming into that's the thing. Like, Ken's been rumored to be joining, and obviously
another loser.
Yeah, exactly. What's he given? What's he shown? What's he have that?
And this is the thing, right? So, but whether we like it or not, Voss has the best win percentage this side of the century for us.
But bro, that's not a big trophy to have,
See, this is the thing. This is like what we define as success in the club now is very different, right? So Ken Hinkley is great during the home and away season, has shown that he can't do it in finals at all. What happens now in terms of the caliber of the people who'll want to join, and for too long in the last few years, we've just been that club. When they use the term destination club, they've used that because of the money we throw, right?
Yeah.
So whether it be Williams, whether it be Martin, whether it be Chera, whether it be anyone, we've thrown money around. That's why it's destination club at the moment. Do some high quality assistance really want to come there, or are we going to have to just throw a bit of money around to make things happen? And do you want to come when there's also a fair bit of instability as well? Because, like you said, they're backed him for 26. Of course, that's it. That's when his contract at this stage ends. So I think the next few weeks will be interesting as well. I don't think it's over yet, but the statement was pretty definitive, because usually they come out in the media and they'll say, yep, we back him in, or there's a press conference. This was like an official club statement. Again, not backed by any individual. No one put their name on it. Priestley didn't put his name on it. Hook didn't put his name on it. Graeme Wright didn't put his name on it.
Good catch.
Probably going to take him through.
I didn't read that.
Was a hack.
Yeah, I didn't read that far down the email, to be honest. It was a bit of rubbish, bit of Carlton dribble. But I don't know, man. It's a funny one. It's just, for me, it just reeks of they're just putting it out there just to shut everyone up. Like, it's not genuine. It can't be genuine. It can't. No logical fucking mind can look at our last 30, 40 games and say this guy can coach. I mean, look at his entire tenure at Carlton. He was handed the keys to a pretty solid team. And look, unless Graeme Wright has come in and seen that a lot is out of Voss's hands, a lot of those decisions weren't Voss's, then if that didn't happen, I can't see how he keeps his job, bro. I can't. We're so bad.
The body language in some of the things, the body language in some of these things in the last few weeks, like, maybe we're reading too much into it, or the camera pans into him a lot, but it just struck me as a man who's like a bit of a dead man walking vibe.
Maybe he thought he was getting sacked.
Could be, right? Like, it struck me as a man who's just, I'm done. Like, I'm going to sit on the steps on the coach's box. He's laughing off a few things. Well, it just struck me as he knows that the end is near. So I sincerely hope, right, he gets the support he needs around him, because that was one of the things that was said when he was sacked, and that was one of the things he said when we hired him. So whether you go and chase down your Skipworths, your Hickmots, your moving on people like your Hanson or your Hamill or whatnot, and get Carousellas, and there's a lot of quality out there, right? What you surround him with will be interesting. But I think the big one now, the attention will turn to, because it's talked about, the first step out of a few, Brad Lloyd. So the attention, I guess, turns to the head of football. So expect to see that sort of over the coming days in the next week. Sorry, Mark.
I know Ken Hinkley is eyeing that head of football role, I think. So I think that, it's writing on the wall for Brad Lloyd. Imagine he survives. Imagine Brad Lloyd doesn't get sacked.
Surely
Right.
not.
It's crazy. I don't know, man. Something about it just seems a bit superficial. Doesn't seem legit. I don't know. What happens if we lose to Essendon in the last game by 40 points?
Get the
I mean, we
pay rise.
shouldn't lose anyway. But what happens if we lose to a bunch of teenagers?
It happened in round one.
I know. So, are we going to finish the season the way we started it? How does he keep his job? How does anybody keep their job? If man, this season has been so bad. I'm surprised that the president is still there. I'm surprised that the club is still standing. It's been that much of a shambles.
And that's starting from before round one, Newman ACL, Newman, was it ACL or patella or whatever it was? But he had the injury, Jagger ACL. Luke gets the knob out on Twitter, and then all of a sudden round one happens. Look, maybe this is a definitive statement from the club, and then we see some crazy shit during player exchange period. And I think, Andy, you've said it multiple times in terms of culture. If you don't want to be there, and I said it a while back in terms of if they're not buying into what he's selling, or they're not buying into the direction of the club, there could be a few now that request trades. All right, so that's what I'm really looking forward to now, because you'll sort of start to see a bit more in terms of the dynamics of the clubs and who's not seeing eye to eye. And this is the first time the club's gone the other way and back to coach in rather than going the easy route. Again, we won't know the outcome of this. We can stand here next year in 12 months' time, and the decision might have already been made earlier in the season and whatnot. But as you said, Andy, the board are now accountable for owning this decision. They've made it based on an educated assessment from Graeme Wright throughout the year. And if he's recommended it, and they're going to go ahead and make the moves they're going to make, we have to can only judge in 12 months' time. Big shout to Only Carlton. Thank you for the donation. We love Only Carlton. Great page. Absolute king of socials. Only Carlton on the socials. Get around him. The fellas, love you boys. I know the club backed Voss, but I don't believe them. Smoke and Mirrors FC. Sorry, I won't be able to watch the show live tonight, but remember, together forever. We love you, mate. Appreciate your work all the time.
Legend. Make sure you're following him on all the platforms.
What are your thoughts, Amal? Happy? Sad?
I'm of the opinion that Graeme Wright has done his due diligence. He wasn't expected to take over the role until the 15th of August. He's been at the club right from day one as far as this season is concerned. So I'm assuming that he's had a look at the club from top to bottom. So if he's done that, then he knows where the problems lie. And I'm sure that he's had meetings and conversations and discussions and all of that kind of stuff with every single staff member, again, from top to bottom. So if he's done that, if I was, we talked about this probably a couple of weeks ago. If I was Graeme Wright, the first thing that I'd be doing is going, okay, well, we suck on field. Off field is looking pretty good, but on field, who is responsible for the game plan? And if that's Voss, fine. Voss, is this the game plan that you want to play moving forward? Yes or no? If it's a no, and then what's your game plan moving forward? And I'm sure Graeme Wright will have an idea of what type of footy. We're watching it. We were watching it for half a game. Hawthorn is the new blueprint for modern day football. Fast, right? So if If Voss says yes, I have a game plan that is suited to that. I don't have the cattle, then great. Then you need to start making some decisions. And I agree with you, George. I reckon that there's going to be some wholesale, maybe not wholesale, but there's going to be quite a number of people going in and out of the club this year, and in draft period. But ultimately, regardless of what happens and what doesn't happen, if Voss stays or goes, we won't know, or we won't see the outcome of Graeme Wright's decisions and results until next year. So why get invested in it, emotionally at least right now? That's where I am. If this year has taught me anything, is to fucking take the emotions out of it, because it saps you. It sapped me. This year has completely sapped me of all emotional investment that I had. So I'll wait until next year.
I feel like you have to be emotionally invested in whatever. I feel like with we're at such a crossroads, bro, that like we can't keep making the same mistakes again. But we're going to be back here next year, and then we're going to be back here, the year after. So I think it doesn't matter what side of the ledger you're on, to try to remove emotion from it is so difficult. It's like, I applaud you for being able to do so. It's impossible, I think, for most Carlton supporters to do that. I think the more invested we've been, the more that threw me off hard. I feel like the longer you support this team, the more emotion you just automatically just give out. You just emit so much emotion. So I applaud you for being able to detach yourself from that. I can't. Yeah, I love this club, man. Like this club is like,
it's a love-hate relationship.
Man. It is. It really is. So yeah, fuck, well done.
Should we talk about the teams, or
does the game even matter, really?
Nah, but still throw the teams up.
Well, if we beat Gold Coast,
don't be silly.
We beat Gold Coast, we can like we can maybe kick them out of finals. I don't know what they're like, but we could potentially make sure that they don't play finals. It's important. It's an important game for them.
They're a game behind everyone. Them and Essendon.
Oh, they get that extra game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, it's still possible.
Suss the teams. Might as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Am I taking it? I'll take it. Sorry, guys. In Hudson O'Keefe, Billy Wilson out, Harry O'Farrell, Mark Bidnett. For the Suns, in Malcolm Roses, out Sam Flanders. Backline reads Sard, Wiedering, Carroll, Cowan, Lewis Young, Nick Haynes, Blake Acres, Paddy Cripps, Ashton Moyer. Interesting spot there. Ollie Hollands, Harry Mackay, Will White, Lockie Fogarty, Hudson O'Keefe, Zach Williams rounding out the forward line. Tom DeConning, Cooper Law, George Hewitt, Wilson, Durden, Flynn Young, Motlop, Evans on the interchange bench. Bins, Pednet, Chincotta, Emergency. So I've got the little guy yelling in the back, so I'm muting myself now.
I thought Sard was concussed.
That's what I thought.
Same.
But then again, I never really looked anything after we lost that game. So
I just assumed. It was a pretty bad hit.
Maybe just broken nose or some shit.
Yeah. But even if it's a broken nose, fuck, like to be playing footy next week.
Stuck penalty forward in his nose.
Oh, yeah. Look, I think with everything to play for, Gold Coast should,
slap.
Should, but they don't really play Marvel the best. They got this thing with Marvel, so who knows?
I think it just means more to them, whereas we're playing for nothing.
Yeah. Don't know. I'm looking at the teams and like they should put it all over us. We've got a lot of youth on that list. I don't know. You boys give us any chance?
No.
We'll probably be the same as, the Freo game. You come out, you have a crack 1 or 2 quarters, Probably hope for that's probably the only chance. You know, they have a good couple of quarters, hope for their best, try hang on, but I just think Gold Coast has probably got too much to play for. They're almost fighting for a top 4 spot.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one, Carl. I think we start well. Gold Coast are going to be vying for it. Yeah, they don't play. Well, they've started learning how to win away this year, more so than any in the recent year. But I think with the quality they have, and in terms of what we have to play for, obviously, like a couple of kids in there that are looking to really make the most of the opportunity. So that's what I want to see. I think the most we get out of these games, is going to them together and catching some glimpses of some things to be excited about in the future.
I don't know, man. I don't want to get
Weren't
slapped.
we supposed to have a few more players ready to come in? I'm sure I read McGovern was almost ready.
Walsh
No, Sam Walsh was next week.
next week.
But there was another one. Was it Shearer?
Well, McGovern was always I can't remember where I heard it, but
You wouldn't even play him this year. What for? Just leave him.
no. I think it's got something to do with his contract.
What? Trigger?
A trigger. Yep.
Yeah. Apparently 18, 19 games, whatever it is, will trigger a new contract.
So they don't want to give him the contract.
No.
Apparently. Well, he might not even want the contract. It might be on him. Everyone else seems to be wanting out. So, I don't know. It's such
If
a
that's the
weird
case,
time.
wholesale changes in the back line, regardless. I think it's looking like.
Yeah.
Jack being the other one as well, with a big question mark over his head at the moment of whether he goes, whether he stays. He's recently met with Essendon as well. It's
I actually have some
Too
breaking
embarrassed to
news.
walk back into the club for that bloke.
I actually have some breaking news about Jack. Legit. He was exclusively. This is a full exclusive. He was seen in Bottle Pascoe asking for a job next year. He's like, man, I've looked everywhere else. No one wants me. You got any openings on your list? Might have to sack Dwayne.
Fuck us. Look on that way, man. Bloke's asking everyone for a job.
Yeah. This bloke, man. He's going everywhere, bro. Look, how bad does he want to get out of Carlton?
So you got the Pies, the Dogs, Essendon.
Yeah, and God knows who else. Saints, probably, because his dad probably didn't have to interview. He's gone. Like, you have to assume he's gone.
But do you reckon it's just it tells you that the club's that fucking toxic he wants out, or do you reckon he's just that bitch?
I don't think Carlton have done right by him.
Why?
How?
How have they developed him? In the 8
He's
years
always
that
injured.
He's been there. He's not injured every season. He had an ACL last year and he misses out a couple of games every year. But most players do.
He misses out a lot.
He misses a lot more than an average player, man.
He averages 13 point something games a year in his career. That's without missing the season last year.
Okay.
So he misses
how
a
have
third of
we-
the season.
How have we developed him? He's always been the second go-to player in the positions that he plays, whether he's forward, whether he's down back, whether he's wherever he plays. He's pinch hitting in the ruck. What position have we developed him in?
Well, I don't think he's the type of player that you could put him in one single position. He was never great at anything.
Turned out to be pretty good
Amal,
down back.
Him and Kerno were drafted the
8
same
years
year.
into his career.
Kerno missed 2 years, and Kerno's played nearly a season more than him. Worth. So if that tells
That's
you he's not
crazy.
injured a lot.
Yeah, but Kerno's X factor. Kerno's one.
No. We're not. We're
the
talking about
generational
games
talent that we
talking about
talk
injuries.
about.
We're talking about games played.
Do you think maybe the injuries have anything to do with him consistently being played in different positions?
No,
Um,
I don't reckon.
I think his body can't hold up. So he's too slow, firstly. So you can't play him in the lock on a wing. You can't put him in any running position. He was decent as a second ruck. He's not your first ruck.
No,
he's probably
never.
he's probably your third or fourth defender. He's not a key defender, and you've got two. and then so he's probably third or fourth best
Great
defender.
swingman.
We're just making do with him at the moment. Like we're just. He wouldn't have played 50 games at a different club. He was very average when he came in. Yes, we all loved him, but he wasn't that good. His surname kept him in the system.
Yep.
And I think they learnt from that the second time around with Ben. So with Ben, they cut the cord quite quickly. Again, he's a solid player. But you take the surname away. You want to talk about taking emotion away. Take emotion out of the way with Silvagni. I don't see him as a huge loss. I don't see him as like a game changer. I don't see him, but he doesn't play enough to be a game changer. And when he does, he plays a role. He's a brilliant role player. You know, give him a role, he can play it. And I think those utilities are really important. But you don't overpay for something like that. You just don't. I'd rather, if we were going to get rid of one of them last year, Jack or Kennedy, I would have rather have got rid of Jack.
Yeah, I think we'd probably all agree on that one.
I just think Kennedy brought a lot more, and they played, apart from the ruck, they played very similar positions, very similar roles. So I don't know. I like Jack. I think Jack's cool. He's a good player. But I think the narrative of the club has done hard by him. I think that's wrong, man. I just think the club probably gave him an extra chance or two. You know, you're not going to give 5 years to a player who is will play for 5-6 weeks and then cop 2 weeks injuries and like games played. He's a liability. So I think you pay him what
he wants to leave. He wants to leave. But look, I'll be honest. I'll be dirty if I see him in a Collingwood Guernsey.
I'd be dirty. I'd be
go
dirty
anywhere
if he
then,
was
man.
if he was in any other colours aside from navy blue. I stand by the fact that I think Carlton's done him dirty. Put aside,
He's definitely
like I said, I don't think they've developed him. I don't think they've given him an opportunity to play in a position that he's used to. They haven't given him enough time to develop in any single position. He's played forward, he's played back, he's played ruck, he's played this, he's played that. He's played everything. We didn't do that to anyone else, bar a few. Obviously, this year we've had massive holes in our list. And now that he's this year proven himself as a good defender, maybe not great. He could be great in a year or two if he continues to play in that same position over and over and over again. But we haven't done anything about it. Can you blame Jack for looking around?
Every time he comes in and he tries to have a run, he gets injured. So I don't know. What more?
In the grand scheme of things, this year's a waste. It's a waste. So what's the point of bringing him back? He might have been able to come back earlier if we were in contention. We don't know.
Yeah, I think there's too much. I think there's too much emotion involved in Jack across the board. I just think if he wants to stay, cool. If he wants to leave, fuck off. I don't give a fuck what color he wears next year. I don't care about any player, bro. Like, if you don't want to be at Carlton, go. It's
just
so
give me
important,
a premiership, man. Just give me that thing at the end, man.
Yeah, and you don't win
That's all I want to
premierships.
see, man. Fucking Amal, you can fucking be playing there on grand final, but just fucking win, man. I don't give a fuck who's there, man.
Get down. My cat is running amok.
Put Andy's cat on the fucking ground, man. I don't care, man. Meow. Fucking. I want to celebrate, man. I want to fucking just hug and celebrate and fucking jump up and down and kiss George's forehead and.
I think what the one thing that's a credit to Jack is his work effort and his work rate in every position that he's been thrown in. Had it not have been for the work ethic and the work rate, again, had his not name have been Silvagni and had that work rate, I don't think he'd be around. But that's one thing that it's I credit him, and I think what's worked in our favour as a club, if whatever we get for him in terms of if it's a second rounder or whatnot, is the fact that he's shown some promising signs in defence that obviously other teams can use. And if that's the Pies, that's the Pies. If it's the Dons, it's the Dons. If it's the Doggies, so on and so forth. That's the thing now. It's you're going to see some changes. You're going to see players that don't see eye to eye with the boss or the club or the direction. And if that's the case, like that's it. I said it the other night. whatever happens, like now it's Jack's call. Like Jack can choose to stay knowing that this is what we have for you. Like, you're going to be third behind, you got Weeders, you got Haynes probably, for next year. And you're going to be after, third after that. You got O'Farrell and Dean as sort of the players coming through from the youth. Or we're going to go in a different direction. So, but I think the offer was fair. I don't think the offer is not fair in terms of, like, we're putting forward a significant amount of money for, guaranteed 12 or 13 guaranteed games. And then after that, it's done. So, love the bloke. Love how he goes about it. But, man, you've just got to trust what the club's doing at the moment in terms of how they handle contracts, how they handle the player exchange period. I haven't really been sold on in the past with just throwing money at problems, aka your Williams, your McGoverns, and some of those calls. I don't mind what Nick Austin's done in comparison to Silvagni, the last few years, whether he stays or he doesn't. But some of the things he's done has been a bit more shrewd. So, whereas, instead of picking up GWS rejects and things like that as well. So, yeah, I think we got bigger issues, I think, to solve for than Jack Silvagni. And at the end of the day, I don't think, if we get down to it, I don't think Jack Silvagni is the difference between becoming a top four and a potential grand final side and not. I think there's some more issues to solve for. And for development, at the end of the day, I think we can use that argument for so many players. I think really, like, if you're like the only good development that's happened around the club in recent times, to be honest, and maybe kudos to Matty Cruiser, probably doesn't get enough credit for it. TDK's turned into a gun player. Let's be real. He's developed him. He was like Bambi, just skating around and sort of looked lost. So he's a great player. Pitto, yes, not really great around the ground or whatnot. As a tap ruckman and setting up with our midfield and the things he done in 23 as well, and when he comes on, solid. And O'Keefe looks to be going forward a good footballer. So maybe props to Cruiser for sorting out the ruck situation as well. So I guess from that point of development, I guess it's been a tick. But whatever our feelings are about your Dowells, your O'Briens, your Fishers, your a ton of other players I can name right now. We've whether it be the players' fault, the conditioning, or the development, somewhere there's been a breakdown. But that's really the only sort of small crop of success stories that we've seen from development of the club.
Fair point.
Yeah.
So, do we win on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no, but I think it'll be close. I don't think it'll be bad. I think this pressure release will help Voss and the team, maybe.
I'm actually going to change my mind. I reckon we're going to get up, boys. I don't know why, but call me crazy. I reckon
Crazy.
the fact that it's so close to September and Gold Coast, are that close for their first finals run. Where are they on the ladder now? Where are they?
6, I think, with
Sixth?
the game in hand.
Oh yeah, you're right. 6th the game in hand. I reckon the fact that they're so close, they're gonna travel. It's gonna get a bit nervy. Carlton by 4 points. Let's give Georgie Hewitt on his 200th a big game. I reckon he's going to get BOG. And Zach Williams with 3 as the leading goal scorer. I reckon there's going to be a bit of a spread. Purely because I reckon that Voss is going to be able to exhale, maybe change a couple things. And now that, players aren't playing under as much pressure, I guess, and it's a Saturday night game. I was going to say we're scared of the dark, usually. Maybe a little bit of a shift, a bit of a change. So, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to back us in. I'll back us in.
We can't seem to score. Like, we're just not scoring. We're getting all these... It's the same story. We get all these inside 50s and we don't score, or we don't score for long enough. Like, first half last week was pretty good. and then we went at 8% or like 10% or something for the rest of the game. Oh, it's pretty bad.
Can I also quickly ask, really quickly, sorry, Mal, before we go to you, how are our odds so good against Port next week? Like we're obviously significantly outsiders against the Suns. We're favourites for next week.
No, we're
They're
not.
258, aren't they? I think.
We're like $1.50 favourites for next week.
Yeah, Port's like 258, I think.
What?
I don't know. I think it's a bit irrational to have us that outside this week, and then
Agreed.
We are too.
Yeah, that like
They've got it wrong.
what?
They've got it wrong.
How bad are Port?
Apparently, pretty bad.
And we're about to hire their coach.
They're gonna give us a nice one. I reckon Gold Coast is gonna do what Hawks are doing to Magpies tonight.
Just on that game, they're actually winning
56.
by a lot, 56 points, and it's 3/4 time. I reckon Carlton will win the first half,
You crazy?
and then Carlton will go to sleep in the second half, and we'll lose by
You right.
65 points. We're not winning. I don't think we'll win. I don't think we'll win another game, bar maybe Essendon for the rest of the year. Not that there's much of it left, but
Yeah.
the most exciting thing about this footy season is going to be the off season for Carlton fans.
I cannot wait, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Not gonna lie.
We're heavily involved in free agency. We've got a number of players in that space. Then trades, then draft. We've got so many people coming through the draft, trade and free agents. It's going to be insane. Plus the off-field stuff as well. Assistant coaches, possibly a coach, depending on what happens in the next couple of games.
A lot happening.
Action-packed.
Can't wait. Should make
It's probably the best way to put it.
You know, I heard something today. And it's not 100%, but apparently TDK's staying. I'm telling you, that's this person that told me. It's quite reliable.
Could you imagine?
I'm. That's pretty much what I said. I go, fuck, imagine that. He goes, mate, I'm hearing that he's staying, that he's fully leaning. He still hasn't completely made up his mind.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's, St Kilda, where careers go to die, he reckons that, like, yeah, he's convinced that Graeme Wright coming in, apparently, is going to, bring the change that needs to come, and he's leaning towards staying. So, I'll make of that what you will. But
if that is the case,
everything out of the way, like that throws all our trades,
Plan.
everything.
Yeah. You've got to start getting creative to try and get some capital.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I still think he will go, but from this guy that told me, he hasn't been wrong about much, and I'm like, wow, yeah.
I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
Wait.
It's going to be good. All right, gents.
Don't forget
Round
our giveaway.
22.
24 hours before the game.
Oh, yep.
Hit up our Instagram at the Monday Blues Podcast. Weekly giveaway thanks to Mercadante Woodfire Pizzeria. Carl, the address?
123 Logon Street, Carlton. Wahed Nantleti, Logon Street, Carlton.
Very good. Hit up our story the day before, 24 hours before the game, so even just before the game even. All you got to do is put your tips in the box, tip in a box, and off you go. If you win, you win. You might get into a duck race. We'll see.
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
Sorry, headphone users. Big thank you to Mercadante. Globalnet Solutions Australia, of course, as well. IT solutions for Australian businesses. Get around Naz and the team there. Elite Plastering Group, new homes, old homes, buildings, commercial, residential maintenance, repairs, Cami Projects, framing, fixing, lockups, renovations, pergolas, deckings, and now builds. Get around Erica Cami Projects. YPA Zak Nasser, selling, buying, get it round Zak. RAZ Homes. High-end builder specialising in architectural homes, developments, renovations, extensions, and multi-units. Thank you to Rules. Bottle Pascal, your favourite local promotion this week, Andy.
10% off if you say Jack Silvagni. We don't care what you do anymore.
Very good. And Damo Finance, thank you to Johnny and the team from Damo Finance. Personal loans, asset and equipment finance, and business loans. Get around Johnny. All the contact details are in the video description. Make sure you let him know where you got it. All right. Until Monday, eh? And thanks to the chat. Really appreciate you guys on this Thursday night. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already.
Make sure you subscribe if you haven't either. Love you.
Very good.
Very good. Well, until Monday, it is sayonara from the Monday Blues.
Sicky now.